Living in Houston Heights versus Bellaire, Texas. Which area should you choose? Here's what nobody tells you when you're comparing Houston Heights and Bellaire. The price difference is not what you think it is. And the lifestyle gap is even bigger than that. Most people come into the decision thinking one is trendy and urban, one is quiet and suburban. I just need to figure out which vibes I like. But the framing will cost you, because the real question is not about aesthetics. It is about what your life actually looks like 5 years from now. Your commute, your school options, your equity, your flood risk. 2 very different answers depending on which zip code you choose. If you're relocating to Houston and trying to decide between these 2 neighborhoods, this video is specifically for you. Hi, I'm Natasha Carroll, your Houston area real estate agent and your go-to resource for everything relocation in this market. In today's video, I'm breaking down Houston Heights versus Bellaire across the things that actually matter when you're making a real estate decision. Price, schools, lifestyle, flood risk, and long-term value. By the end, you will know exactly which one fits your situation. And if this type of content helps you, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I put out videos every week to help people navigate this market, and what's most important to me is that you navigate it with confidence. The first thing we're going to cover is, I would call it the price tag illusion, what your budget actually buys you in each neighborhood. Let us start with money, because the numbers here will genuinely surprise you. According to Redfin, the median home price in the Houston Heights as early as 2026 sits around $565,000. Bellaire comes in higher with a median house price around $790,000. And on the surface, that looks like a clear winner. Heights is cheaper, right? Not quite. Here's what that price difference does not show you. Heights Houston is an established, walkable urban neighborhood inside of the 610 loop. You're buying older homes, many built between 1920 and 1970, often on smaller lots. The comps are widely inconsistent because you will find a fully renovated craftsman bungalow sitting next to a property that still needs significant work. Bellaire is smaller, self-contained city within Houston, roughly 3.5 square miles. For that higher price point, you're typically getting new construction or extremely, I would say, remodeled homes on larger lots, and the benefit of being in an independent municipality with its own city services. And according to Houston Association of Realtors, days on market in Bellaire averaged around 38 days in early 2026 compared to the roughly 47 days in the Houston Heights corridor. That tells you Bellaire is moving faster, which signals strong and consistent demand, I would say. The bottom line on price. Your dollar goes farther in the Heights in terms of square footage, but Bellaire tends to deliver more predictable quality and a tighter price range. So something for you to think about. Now that we've unpacked the financial picture, let us talk about something that shapes your daily life far more than your home square footage, at least I would say. Next, we're going to cover freeway or freedom. The commute reality is what I would call it. Commute, it is often overlooked variable in the Houston Heights versus Bellaire decision, and it should not be. Houston Heights, it sits northwest of downtown Houston, inside the 610 loop. And if you work downtown or in midtown, you're potentially 10 to 15 minutes away during off-peak hours. The catch though, Heights residents deal with local streets congestion and limited freeway access. You are relying on surface roads and I-10 and 610. And during peak morning hours, what looks like a short distance can stretch possibly 30 or 40 minutes. Bellaire, it sits south of the Galleria corridor with easy access to US 59, to Kirby Drive, and Westheimer. And if your employer is in the Energy Corridor, Greenway Plaza, or the Medical Center, Bellaire's location is genuinely I would say excellent. The Texas Medical Center, one of the largest medical complexes in the world, is roughly 10 minutes from most of Bellaire, which matters enormously for large healthcare professional population that lives in the area. According to the U.S. Census Bureau American Community Survey, the average one-way commute for Houston Metro residents is around 29 minutes. Bellaire residents consistently outperform that average. And if you work in the medical center, Greenway Plaza, or the Galleria, Bellaire wins on commute with almost no debate. But if you work downtown, the Heights is more practical choice for you. So we've talked about what your money actually buys and how each neighborhood handles daily commute. And here's what stands out already. Neither neighborhood is automatically the better deal. It depends entirely on how you're going to live in it. Now, if you're still early in your search and you're trying to figure out where in Houston you actually belong, I want to point you towards our free relocation guide that we have. It covers, I would say, the best neighborhoods, the schools, ratings, and everything you need to do to start your search right away. The link is in the description box below. Now, we need to get into something that truly separates the two neighborhoods, and that a lot of buyers only discover after they've already made an offer on a home or signed on the dotted line. The school secret nobody puts in the listing. Education options by neighborhood is what we're going to talk about next. School quality is one of the most powerful drivers of long-term home value in Houston. And the two neighborhoods we're comparing, they sit in very different school districts, so you need to be aware of that. Houston Heights is zoned to the Houston Independent School District, or we call it HISD. HISD is enormous, and performance varies dramatically school by school. According to the Texas Education Agency, some HISD elementary schools in and around the Heights score well, but many Heights residents with school-age children, they opt for private schools or magnet programs, which adds both cost and logistical complexity to their lifestyle equation. Bellaire is also zoned to Houston Independent School District, but the elementary schools feeding Bellaire's residential areas carry stronger TEA ratings. And Bellaire High School has a long-standing reputation for academic rigor and strong extracurricular programs. According to Great Schools rating updated for 2025 and 26, Bellaire High School consistently earns above average marks in college readiness and, of course, in academic progress. If schools are a top priority for your family, Bellaire has a more straightforward and strong public school pathway, I would say, than the Heights. Next, we're going to cover flood fields and everything in between. Lifestyle and risk, side by side is what we're going to call it. Let us talk about two things at once here. Flood risk and neighborhood lifestyle, because both matter to the quality of your life as well as your investment. On the flood risk, both neighborhoods, believe it or not, have exposure, and you need to go in with your eyes wide open. According to FEMA, the current flood map data, portions of Houston Heights sit in or near Zone AE and Zone X, depending on the specific block. The Heights experienced some flooding during Hurricane Harvey in 2017, particularly in the lower laying areas near White Oak Bayou. Now, Bellaire, it has a similar story. Some sections flooded significantly during Harvey. The city of Bellaire has since invested in drainage, infrastructure improvements, but like anywhere in the Houston Metro, flood insurance is not optional here. It is a cost you need to factor into your monthly budget, regardless of which neighborhood you choose to live in. On lifestyle, these two neighborhoods feel completely different. The Heights is walkable, electric, and active. Think independent coffee shops, boutique fitness studios, Saturday farmers market, and a community where you likely know the neighbors. It attracts younger professionals, creatives, and couples, of course. Bellaire, it has a quieter, more established residential feel, wide tree-lined streets, large lots, strong community institutions. It screws towards family, school-age children. It prioritizes stability over the scene. Next, we're going to talk about which one actually builds your wealth. Long-term value and final answer. And here is where we bring it all home. According to Zillow's research, Houston Heights has been home values appreciated by roughly 18% over the last 5 years, which is solid performance for an infilled urban neighborhood. The demand for walkability, inside the loop living in Houston continues to grow as the city densifies, and the Heights is a direct beneficiary of the trend. Bellaire has also appreciated steadily, with values up 15 to 17% over the same period. But Bellaire's value story is more about preservation than, I would say, acceleration. The independent city structure, the consistent school performance, and the stable, high-impact resident base creates a floor under home values that is very hard to shake. You're unlikely to see dramatic swings in either direction, which is exactly what conservative, long-term buyers want. So which one builds your wealth? If you're a young buyer or someone who values lifestyle and urban energy alongside equity, the Heights gives you appreciation upside and a life you will actually enjoy living. If you're a family buyer or someone who prioritizes school quality, long-term stability, Bellaire is more dependable, lower variance investment, I would say. So it's something you should think about. The answer is not which neighborhood is better. The answer is which neighborhood is better for you. That's the most important part. Houston Heights versus Bellaire are both exceptional neighborhoods built for genuinely different buyers. The Heights delivers walkable urban energy, inside the loop convenience for downtown workers, and strong appreciation potential. But it requires more due diligence on school selection and property condition. Bellaire, it offers a more predictable buying experience, a stronger public school pathway, especially at the high school level, and the kind of stable long-term values that families and long horizon investors, they tend to prioritize. On the flood risk side, both neighborhoods require vigilance and flood insurance. On a lifestyle, the gap is real and it matters. The most important move you can make before choosing is get honest about how you are actually going to live in Houston, not just how the photos make you feel. If you're planning to move to Houston area and you want someone who will tell you the honest truth about each neighborhood, not just the highlights, reach out to me directly. My contact information is in the description box below. Whether it is a quick call or a full relocation consultation, or you just have a few questions, I'm always here to help. And if you're still in search mode, grab my free Texas relocation guide. It has school ratings, it has neighborhood breakdowns, and I would say everything you need to know to make a confident decision about your move. The link is in the description box below. Of course, I'm Natasha Carroll. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.